A recent piece in the New York Times, titled, "Worse Than the Black Death," sheds light on South Korea's demographic concerns. The article underscores that if the current trend of declining birth rates persists, the country's population is expected to experience a more substantial decrease than the catastrophic impact of the Black Death in Europe during the Middle Ages. In parallel, Japan introduces the notion of peak Korea, contributing to a narrative that foresees a grim future for South Korea. The theory of peak Korea suggests that South Korea's economy has peaked and is now in decline. The nation's economic growth rate is anticipated to hit around 0%, potentially dropping it from the top 9 global economic powerhouses, G9. 3 primary factors contribute to this scenario. Firstly, the diminishing economic growth rate poses a significant challenge. Experts note a consistent decline, making substantial future economic growth difficult. Additionally, a decreasing population since 2019, marked by a notable decline in births, exacerbates concerns. This trend is expected to lead to reduced domestic consumption, challenges for businesses in profit generation, and decreased productivity due to a shrinking workforce. Lastly, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, warns that persistent trends may result in South Korea's government debt surpassing twice its GDP in 50 years, presenting a hurdle for implementing policies requiring substantial financial investments. It would be tough for South Korea to carry out big plans that need a lot of money because the government might owe more than twice what the whole country makes in a year. Also, regular people in South Korea already owe more money than people in other advanced countries. If everyone focuses on paying off their debts and spending too much, the country's money situation could get even worse. Why is South Korea facing challenges for future growth? First, the amount of work done in 1 hour, known as labor productivity, is not very high. Even though people work long hours, the country isn't growing as much as it should. Second, there's too much competition, especially in exams and jobs, making people tired. This competition is causing fewer people to get married and have kids. Third, houses cost a lot, making people borrow more money and go into debt. If the national pension system runs out by 2055, it could make the government owe even more money. To tackle this issue, improvements are needed in the workplace. Experts suggest rectifying the disparities in conditions and pay between full-time and part-time employees, fostering competition, and impeding economic growth. Combating the declining birth rate necessitates establishing an environment that allows individuals to balance work and family obligations. Additionally, revising the education system to alleviate competition pressure can decrease excessive spending on private education, reducing household debt. Addressing the regional imbalance between non-capital and capital regions is essential.